tried setting this like as a stream up on YouTube, but it wasn't working. So I'm gonna have to do it through OBS Studio. I'm bearish on the day. I know that we're super bullish here, but I kind of want, us to open up, maybe take out high of day maybe, or sweep an internal high and then dump. But market opens up in 1 minute. I got one screen open on the other screen you guys can't see, but it's just showing me a higher time frame. So far, it's showing that the monthly and the weekly are very bullish, but I'm bearish because the previous month swept the internal high and then closed. So I'm assuming we're gonna have some bearish price action. Yesterday we closed bullish, we swept from lows and pushed higher, but we also did sweep 2 days ago high. So whatever liquidity was there was swept. On the hourly, it looks like we came up, we swept it and rejected. I kind of do need this hourly low to get swept and taken so that I can pretty much resume bearish price action because we did come up, sweep this high, reject. If we take this low, usually we'll create a fair value gap and we'll dump, but opens up in 1 minute. We could go straight down and I could not get a entry, or we honestly could be following the monthly, the weekly, and whatever, and we could go higher. Like we could sweep this low and go higher, but I kind of wanna see what price wants to do. All right, so far we swept the internal low. Looks like we're coming back up. Now we have relative equal lows, which is usually a draw on liquidity. But 5 minute looks like it's sweeping and rejecting. We're pretty far from this gap. I tried putting on a YouTube setup stream where if we did sell off, we would take all these lows and then maybe like trade into this gap. And if we saw some sort of rejection, then I would be closing the trade. But if not, then we could blow through this and keep going lower because my super high time frame, I kind of want it to be bearish because we did sweep and reject and go lower. But I kind of want to see how this 5 minute candle closes. So we have another 3.5 minutes. My trading strategy is relatively, fast paced. So I can honestly get in whenever. It's just my stops, if they're like super high or it's risking a lot, then I don't want to be in the move. That's about it. Also, if you hear like some like music in the background, it's me I was playing a video game. I didn't close out of it. Alright, so we're getting some bearish price action. Because overall on the hourly we are bullish. Like we are making lows and highs and lows and highs. But since it looks like pretty much the entire day we just consolidated like overnight between Asia and London session, I really do want to see lower prices. Because it looks like we came down, we broke structure, we're accumulating, and I kind of want to see a dump. And if we kind of stay in this area tomorrow, then we might shoot up higher. But for today I want to do lower. Oh, and just for the record, like say I don't put this in the YouTube whatever. It is the 3rd of February. Damn, we're going straight down. All right. We should be seeing a wick, a bottom wick forming on the 5 minute. Because we're pretty much at low of day already. So like the daily is getting ready to flip. Yep. Just so you guys see what I'm seeing. This is the daily time frame. This is yesterday, 2 days before we swept, and now we're pretty much at the opening range from this day's close to this day's open. So if we're gonna see any bullish price action, it would be relatively soon. But we are literally going straight the fuck down. Damn, that's crazy. All right, we forming a wick now. Perfect. Let's go. I kind of don't want this to look like. Mm, well, I mean, a low of day sweep would indicate, higher prices, but all right, so we have this range to play with. I want to see it come up into at least the 50 to 60, 70% of this range. So half the time it like will come up to the midway of the body, I've noticed. But I will have a stop limit order here to take if we are gonna go lower. There's a hefty stop loss though, but it is honestly the lowest I'm gonna get in, assuming that price action is gonna go lower. I kind of want to sweep this high first. Alright, we're in short. If we do take out this low, I'll move to break even. Alright, we are break even on the day. So, and I'm pretty much, I don't know, I honestly, I wish I was in for micros, because if I was in for 10 micros, then at this low, I would take off half of my position, which that would be 1,200 bucks, which is half of this, obviously, because that's just how it works, but I kind of want to give this a little bit of wiggle room, like, but knowing that this is the second 5 minute candle open, and this being its high, this is a bearish gap, so price could come up and come out. So I'm expecting a free fall. I'm gonna secure some profits. This is what I'm up on the day. Well, it's unrealized, so it's not It's not real. Actually, I don't know. This is the only thing that kind of sucks about trading is you don't relatively know like what's safe, if you know what I'm saying? Like when to start moving yourself to safety. Because if you get in too early, or you want to save yourself early, you could lose out on a bunch of money. So it's some of the most frustrating things. I kind of want to see if I can keep my stops at like 5 second swing highs. Like that would be nice. Because if this 5 minute is going to respect its structure, then I should be okay. So see if we can get a 5 second to close below. All right. So see, that's what I hate. I hate that. Because if it shifts and takes me out, I'm gonna be pissed. But I'm gonna be more mad at myself if it comes all the way up to break even to just dump. I hate God. Because then it's like, Mike, why not just take the money? Take the money, Mike. There's also a new 5 minute opening up. You kind of do want to see the 5 minute open up higher and then trade back to its opening price, and then you want to see it dump off. But now that we do have a new range, well, I'm treating them as ranges because I don't want to see the market go back and forth. So I'm pretty much playing momentum. So that would be a 50% retracement. But we did sweep this internal high, rejected. If we take this low, I'm probably safe to, move my stop to there. So there's that. I'm gonna hold on to a little bit more. I'm gonna be okay with 500 bucks. I need to be okay with at least something. Or you know what? I can actually start keeping this at the 5 minute highs. If we're gonna keep going down, then we'll be fine. Like don't get me wrong, the money is a byproduct. It's just like the money's nice, obviously. Like that's why we do it. But all right, let's see this. All right, this is gonna be first fair value gap, 1 hour bullish. So if we're gonna be going long, we might get some resistance here. If not, the next TP is gonna be there. There's this thing called a macro where the last 15 minutes of the hour usually market like will hunt the next order of liquidity. So I might get stopped out. Oh, I guess we can move this lower. Ooh, I think it's gonna take me out though. It might do like an internal sweep. I'll push it back up here a little bit. Just give it some room. Because I shouldn't be moving until this 5 minute closes. But the anxiety means like you might lose. Eh, should be safe. Oh my God. Um. All right. I'm done. The only thing that I necessarily didn't like was I didn't get so a lot of times before the market comes I guess pre-market did it. Pre-market swept the 8 a.m. swept the 7 a.m. high, and we rejected after sweeping a previous day high, because that's how liquidity, like, this is just how liquidity works. So yesterday we came down, swept, made a new weekly low, came up, and there is liquidity standing at this high. So if the market was to truly go down, it was going to sweep this and then go lower. So um yeah, so the weekly, I'm sorry for my drawings. There's nothing much I can really do about it, but I kind of want to keep everything here just for, you know, to frame my week. But so you see how we just been consolidating where the week would come down and then the next week came up, swept the high, rejected, and then the next week came up, swept this weekly high, and then rejected, and then this week came down, swept low, 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 and then rejected, and then the following week went, you know, took some internal liquidity and swept higher and took out this monthly high, which also tagged into this daily fair value gap, this bearish gap, which is here. The market came up on the daily, filled it completely, but we also dumped and did this work. So we honestly, I thought um we were gonna respect bullish price action on the daily and we were gonna pump. But then the next day we had an inside bar, and I told you guys in a video before where if you have a daily inside bar, the next day we'll at least take this low. So we did, but we took this low, and respected it. So honestly, I could have just got a good sell-off price between here and here, and we could come somewhere in that new week opening gap, the close of this daily candle and the open of this daily candle, and we could come down and then respect and reject because it's got to take a low or a high or some major importance of liquidity for the market to move, you know? So it has to take something. So we took this to come lower today, but tomorrow we could come into this gap tomorrow and then respect and reject, and we could see potential, you know, higher prices. But I don't want to see any higher prices because this monthly candle came up, swept this monthly high into that daily gap, and we respected the bearish price action. So if anything, February, I'm assuming that we're going to open up somewhere in this wick range, which happens to respect it to the 50% of the wick, which is what you would want to see on a high time frame draw. And then you kind of want to see this monthly flip probably within this first week. Like this weekly is probably going to flip. And then going to the second week of February, we might dump and take all of these lows, and which would mean this monthly would flip bearish and we would take that low, and that low. But it just sucks because technically we're in this monthly range. So if I draw a high out here and a low out here, the last 2 months realistically haven't taken a high or a low yet. We've just consolidated for like 8 weeks. We haven't done nothing, you know? So, um, oh, it's on full screen. That's why it's not moving. So yeah, we could come down. That's crazy. We came to my first area of liquidity and then it just rejected. See, that's why it's always good to have a target and, take your target because now the market at some point could come down and start taking these highs. Or like I said, the market dumped and we could respect, this value area or like a value area, but it's like all these inefficiencies, price opening up, the market could come down, come up, take liquidity, go into an inefficiency and then push higher. So we could do that all in one day. It could take multiple days for the time frames to play out, but I got my piece of the pie. I made my money's on the day. I'm gonna do this because I don't ever really do it. I'm gonna lock out. I'm gonna lock out till no, I can't do opening bell. I'm gonna say here. So that's 23 hours and 30 minutes from now. I'm gonna do that. Bingo bongo. I mean, today was so nice. And delivery and planning and sticking to my model. I'm like so happy that I did what I did because we took, you know, the 5 minute opening price, found its range, and then we got in. We got in mad early. So, oh, so yeah, sorry about this. See, I would love to see this versus that. This is a hot mess. This shit. Oh, I'm recording a video. I'm doing my daily audio. I hate that I can't hear you guys get in the fucking chat. Oh no. I'm up on the day. I'm out. I took one mini from 857 to 733. I kind of want to see this week be bearish. How long were you in this call for? Oh, okay. Yeah, based off January's close, I kind of want to see this month be bearish, but realistically, we've been in November's price range. Yeah. Do 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 do. I'm gonna. Well, my account's back up into the 6,000 range, so that's nice. I'm gonna. Yeah, I took I took TP at the low of the 10 a.m. candle yesterday. Do you know where everyone is? Damn. I haven't seen numbers like this in a minute. This is an internal high sweep. No, it's a equal high. That's tough. Yeah, in my recording, I kind of wanted to see price because yesterday we started the gap, like the weekly gap, and we pumped up, and then overnight we pretty much just consolidated, but like bullish wise. So today I was expecting a snapback, but I kind of want to see price come down and kind of respect the weekly opening and be bullish because that's what I see. But based off how the last 2 months have been, I don't think I'm gonna be referring to the monthly just yet, but at least the weekly. But that is the ending of this video. I'm stopping it now.